Hey Taurus, this is going to be your general read for July 2024. Yeah, I'm going to be back for a bit and basically see what happens. Pretty much the cards are already shuffled, and let's just see what is going down for you guys for July 2024. I'll be doing some other videos like this. Some of them will just be facing the cards on their own. Play around, that's how I usually do it. Anything else you guys want to know is in the description box down below. Alright, oh, we got two cards out on that one. That one I didn't expect. And we will clarify all of these at the same time. So, alright, right off the bat, what do we got going on here? Envy, need, inner conflict, and growth. Okay, it looks as though you're going to be, and it makes a whole lot of sense with everything that's going on with Saturn, I think, which starts this Saturday. I'm recording this on the 20th. That'll be on the 29th, up until I think it is November 15th. A whole lot of karmic stuff, a whole lot of things that are unseen that you actually want to create. So it's really bringing out a lot of the dreams and make them actually kind of come true, that sort of thing, if you will. You got envy, need, inner conflict, and then you basically have growth. And each one of these are going to be clarified. So off the bat, this is what I don't actually see this as a negative. Now it depends what the cards what they're being surrounded by. The inner conflict, I think, is where you're actually going. Now I don't see that as a conflict so much. The way I'm actually reading this, especially with growth coming out after that, is going to be really much more clarifying the desires that you actually want. I think it's some of the things that you actually want now. It's kind of like, I see it as a healthy frustration, healthy anger, if you will, for lack of better words. I don't mean it as so angry so much though. And when I say anger, it's really coming out and saying, enough already. There's things that I want, but I need to clarify what is the real mandatory for me to really have the healthy, happy life that I'm actually looking for. Now, that's the real difference, okay, is the mandatory for the life that I'm actually looking for, the things that I'm actually wanting. I think it's really before this, it's been this ramp up of, this would be nice, and this is one of the things that are missing in my life. But it's kind of like, enough. I need to clarify so I really understand where it is I'm going, because right on the envy and need, and that's clarified by the Devil and the Eight of Cups. Now, you could be dealing with the Capricorn. That's very possible. This could just be working really, really hard. The Devil is not always going to be some negative, nasty thing, okay? But do I see it as really changing a few things? Yeah, I actually do. So, and that's one of the reasons I also say, now I read intuitively at the same time. That's why I didn't even look at the clarifiers. Any of you have known me before when I was doing this stuff under a different name. I ramble on. And I go intuitively far more than anything else. The Devil goes right across to the Page of Swords and the Emperor, really taking charge of a whole lot of things, which is really nice. I like that part a lot for you. And that's very much your card, the Emperor, and the Justice. So really, it is cause and effect. It's taking a look and reviewing a whole lot of things. So it's clarifying pretty much what I already said. It's just validating that a little bit. And what I'm seeing with this is walking away from the stuff that really does not actually work for you. Very classic stuff when you have a retrograde. Retrograde is really redo, revitalize, review, revamp, renew. It's all those rewords, It's basically redoing a whole lot of stuff. If you hear a whole bunch of noises outside, it's because I got a window right there, and hey, if a siren goes by, which it sounds like it might pretty soon, we'll see. So really walking away from a whole lot of that lousy stuff that doesn't actually work for you. This devil card right over here, I think it really could be. Could I see this stuff about love? Yeah, there's nothing here that really specifically says it. This I much more see in the sense of what you actually truly love, what really vibes you, what really turns you on. Now, we always see the lover. It's really basically lovers that are really sort of caged up. And it's the Devil typically classically sitting on Pandora's box. So it's really learning a lot of where you've actually been. And that is what it is you're going to be stepping away from. Stepping away, walking away from all of this stuff. Now, specifically with this one, this Eight of Cups really does show it a little bit differently. I think it really does hardcore work on walking away from the Eight of Cups. A lot of stuff that you've already created. I think you have created a whole lot. This says that you have been very successful, especially I'm getting that whole working hard. I think you've done a lot. I think you've accomplished a whole lot. But there's that Nine of Cups that you're really going for. So it's not just going for that one more cup. You're going for the Nine of Cups. You want the juice, and you're just tired of really repeating a whole lot of patterns of a lot of the way things have been, okay? And that's where you're really looking to go forward. Inner conflict, really been in your head a lot. I see this a lot more as a lot more of the flighty dreams. As much as Taurus, you can be very, very solid, very, very practical, that sort of thing. There's a definite, massive, passionate side that actually drives you, really pushes you forward. A whole lot of the real heartfelt stuff, fiercely loyal, really. That's kind of just going by the generic side of things, but that's how I'm really reading this card, this particular part of it. 3 stars represent the 3, which means it's all about you in numerology, and this is really focusing on the you. Once again, it really emphasizes what I just said. It's changing the envy to the real need, the envy of seeing what other people have had, and going towards specifically what you want. So with the whole Page of Swords and the Emperor, this is really taking charge of this stuff. There could be some communication coming in that you're talking about with people. I think it's almost as though you may be having different conversations with people. If not, what I'm really hearing is that you need to have different conversations with people. 6 of Wands down at the bottom, definitely really coming out on this stuff, and love this here. You have got the Knight of Wands underneath, and that says you're really going for it. Stepping out of where it is that you're actually accustomed to, definitely underneath the Justice card. What you put into is what you're going to get. Can't just be talking about it. Here it says you're talking about it. That's where the inner conflict comes in, okay? Now, you really want to rise above all this stuff, and it says you're going to be rising above it. Awesome. But the way I see you looking, the reason you're going to rise above this is I see a lot more of what it is you do and getting a whole lot of accomplishment from what it is you do. Again, the real effects of what you put into, and this goes right up to the Justice card diagonally. Now, what it says is I want a whole lot more from that. I'm taking charge of things. I'm making things happen. Why can't I make the real things that feed my soul actually happen? And that's where I see the trajectory actually changing for you in where it is that you really want to go. And it looks as though you're probably going to get it. Pretty sweet. Again, the growth makes a whole lot of sense that you have the Justice card and the Knight of Wands right underneath that. The Justice card really is what you put in is what you're actually going to get. But justice in this means it is coming out for you, especially because you're really going after things. If you've had any conflict with anything, it definitely says the message is things are going to be going your way. Maybe not the degree that you want, but if there's something I'm really hearing, some of you maybe have had this long-standing, this is only going to be for some of you, okay, where there's some long-standing, not necessarily battle you've had, information you're waiting to hear. Is this going to go my way? Is this not? And it looks like it probably would if that's the case. So definitely going to be going after it. This is really stepping out of the comfort zone, really going after things, and really putting some passion to it. Definite fire, unless a fire sign is actually coming in for you, which is very possible. So let's clarify a few things here. Cards are shuffled so that way you don't have to listen to all that stuff. I want to clarify the Devil here. Again, Knight of Wands. You could have been dealing with somebody in the past, okay? We're going after stuff and it's not working. That's what I think this is really emphasizing. Unless you have been dealing with the fire sign, for those of you in a relationship of any kind, okay? Because I don't see this necessarily as a love relationship. Definitely some things actually changing. You do have the Star at the bottom of the deck here. There's something you've really wanted to have happen. Take a look at the stuff that you've been really passionate about happening but hasn't happened yet. That's what's going to be changing for you. But also, this is definite solid patterns that need to change. If you are a person who's really overworking, and just boom, all your definition, all your success, all your happiness is defined by work. Boom, hey, this is making a change, okay? Somebody on the leaf blower outside. Perfect timing, right? Get a little more on that in the cups, where you're actually going for here. High Priest is really nice. That is really following your intuition. If there's guidance that you've gotten that you have not dived into yet, the stuff that's been uncomfortable for you, I honestly think some of you have gotten advice, if you've gotten advice to go in a particular direction and you haven't done it yet, you haven't acted on it. Again, talking about it only, because this goes diagonally right up to the Page of Wands. It says you need to start acting, you need to start doing things. Sky's the limit, okay? The more you believe in actually something can happen, the more it's actually going to work for you, okay? Absolutely, this is absolutely anything it is that you want, your intuition, pulling it in there, wherever it is you want to go, that's what's going to actually happen for you, okay? Emperor and the Six of Wands here. What is that one kind of going on here? Beautiful. Wow. 10 of coins. 10 of coins and the 4 of coins. Wow. A lot of this could easily be about work. It could be a relationship, whatever it is. This is the legacy you leave. This is getting every single thing it is that you want. Now, I see this as building the stability and the groundwork for it. If this was on its own, I'd say you may be being a little bit stingy about stuff, not willing to move. And that's a very Taurus trait, okay? This says you can have all of those dreams come true. Exactly what I was saying. But with the whole 4 of coins actually there, this says that you're working towards it. You're building that stability. Everything that you've done before this. And that could be the frustration and the conflict you've been having. Why isn't this happening for me yet? This says that you need to go that extra step. So what more for the 6? Wheel of Fortune. Beautiful. 6 of Wands clarified by the Wheel of Fortune. This absolutely says it is moving in your direction. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune is always spinning. So this is life, okay? It's just where you are on the wheel, okay? The center of it is basically going to be you. But it says essentially that every single thing you've been working towards, the faults as well as the successes, okay? Boom, here you go. So it's revamping a lot of those successes and even asking what's missing from those successes, okay? You can have it all when it comes to maybe almost stability, when it comes to things that it looks like, a lot of the tangible things. But there's something more that you want from it. And it says here you are rising above that and you're filling in those gaps of the things that you truly do want that are going to fulfill you. And you're going to go and get it because that goes right to the Knight of Wands, which is pretty darn sweet. So let's clarify the Justice in the Knight of Wands. Devil again. Wow. We went right to the Devil and right to the 9 of Swords. What this says right now, you started off with the Devil, ending off with the Devil and Knight of Swords. This says exactly what I was saying to you. Remember I said about being a little bit frustrated, maybe a little bit bugged about a whole lot of things? Here you go. This says right now, frankly, it hasn't pissed you off enough. This is validating exactly what I said to you. Having that healthy anger. Understand something about relationships and where we go in life. Healthy anger is a very positive thing. It's the stuff that makes you stand up for yourself. If you've been one of those people in life where you grew up and you weren't allowed to express your emotions, or people did it in an unhealthy way, or you were told to shut up, metaphorically as well. And this is where self-awareness becomes key. And that's what I'm going to be doing a lot more on this channel very shortly, is pulling cards and doing a lot more specifically for relationship success, that kind of thing. A lot more of the inner workings, not just the cards and tarot, because I frankly don't give a shit about tarot. I give a shit about you. So, boom, that's what it says here. A lot of the things you have not been able to express or not able to touch into, it says at this moment now, where you are starting from, it hasn't been enough to make you get up and get out of it, okay? This is sort of caught up in that sort of never-ending nightmare. But this also basically says at the same time, this is the message for you. Do you want to be the thing that pushes against everything that actually happens? Or do you want to be that with the one that basically gets smacked against the wall? You want to be the wall, not the one that gets smacked against the wall. This basically says, hell no, okay? I'm going to be pushing past it, and I'm going to start moving, but moving in the direction of the things that you truly do want that are actually going to fulfill you. And you're going to get it at what it looks like. This says right now, this is where you're at in the month of July. You're really going to be reviewing a whole lot of this stuff. And frankly, what are you going to do about it? Let's just get 2 cards to close that off and see where it is you're going to go. You got 3, it looks like, here instead. Nope, you got 4. Yeah. Exactly what I just finished saying. Really weighing things out, okay? Taking a look at what it is you're going to do, one direction or the next. Six of Wands, 6 of Coins is really about an imbalance and bringing things back into balance. There's been an imbalance of how you've actually been doing things, okay? Imbalance of exactly how you've been doing things, and that is the fight that you've had. You got the 7 of Swords and the 2 of Coins. Really, really busy looking at another way of actually doing things. There's another way to get where it is that you want. Typically see this as lying, cheating, and stealing. I think you maybe actually, some of you have been dealing in an environment which is pretty bullshit. One that does not really feed the soul in the way that you actually want. And this is, again, could be very stuck in a whole lot of things. Don't ever underestimate your environment of how much it actually feeds you. Where you put most of your time is also going to basically put where you're most of your soul. So think about that when it comes to your direction that you actually want to go. If you put most of your direction, most of your time, most of your soul in an experiential place that is absolutely not conducive to true health and true growth and true passion and true happiness, You can't fight it, man. You can't. I mean, drink a martini in a tar pit and see how it actually goes, right? Boom, there you go. Finding another way of doing things, but you have to see exactly what this little conflict actually is, what it is that you're bouncing back and forth. And here it is finding another way of actually doing things. The good part about it is you are absolutely working on it. You're really clarifying what those dreams are, absolutely what works for you, what doesn't. In those cups are good choices and bad choices. And it specifically is what you're going to be reviewing. Absolutely, this validates exactly what I said. Reviewing what works, reviewing what doesn't, making the changes that you absolutely need to make. And it looks as though you're going to be doing it. It's just up to you whether it's enough or not. This doesn't say you need to be stuck in it. This says, is it enough for you already? And that's really the question you have to ask yourself when it comes down to this. Is it enough? If you keep asking, is it enough? Eventually you got to say, am I enough? It really comes down to a huge thing about self-worth here. Starting off with the devil, ending off with it in the Nine of Swords. That's when it's really asking you to say, enough. What works? What doesn't? What is not conducive whatsoever? How have I been treating myself unfairly? Which choices are the good choices I'm making? Which are the unhealthy choices I'm making? What are the patterns in my life that tell me this imbalance needs to change? That is where the victor is actually going to come out. That is where you're basically going to be the victory, stepping onto the wheel of fortune and really making something absolutely magical happen for you. That is what growth from the negative is all about, okay? And that's the message for July. We'll do a weekly read pretty soon coming up, and that might give you some more specifics as to where you're going to be. Talk to you soon.